The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for a mature audience. Topics covered may be violent or sexual in nature and are not suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. For specific trigger warnings, please see the episode's show notes. Testimony shared by guests of this show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Late Night Legends hosts or staff. This podcast and any linked materials should not be considered medical or professional advice, nor is the information a substitute for the expertise or treatment from a professional. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
Late Night Legends Internet Podcast Radio Show. My name is Frank Barrientos, United States of America. I'm here with my co-hosts Colin, Tim, and tonight Maria is going to be bringing us an amazing topic, paranormal ritual games. And I feel like that is a topic that we've kind of tiptoed around with different things, but we've never addressed it directly. And I think it's going to be great. Stick around later for a few announcements, our upcoming shows, and we hope it'll be a good one. Without further ado, let's get to it. Yes, Maria? Yes.
Good. Okay. So, ritual paranormal games, it's kind of a new thing in like modern day time. And they essentially come from like creepypastas. People just go onto like /Reddits and write these up, but they're mostly from inspirations of old like folklore, ritualistic games, or just pagan rituals and stuff. It may depend, but a lot of them can be either just written up by someone or it can be inspired by like some truth. A commonly known one would be Bloody Mary. That I won't be talking about that one because we've already covered that one on this. But that's a shorter version of like what a ritual paranormal game would be. Anyone is able to play these games themselves, and some people have claimed to have experienced paranormal occurrences during or after playing these games, even though they're like basically made up or written by just some random author on the internet. Like the types of things that you do in these games, people say that like you're actually inviting something in, so there's a potential of like actually experiencing some things, even if it's just something that's made up. So whether or not they're telling the truth or actually like experiencing things, that's up to you. But there's like nothing really stopping anyone from going and trying these games out themselves to see if anything does happen. But a lot of them do warn people to not play. So yeah, it's up to like everyone's discretion if they want to try it or not. And there's a lot of them. So I'm just going to be covering some of like 3 that are main ones that are a little bit more known.
Are we going to be able to play any here on air tonight remotely?
That would be awesome.
What did you think of that?
That would be amazing.
I feel like there might be some, but
You're not
I don't know,
to
because some of these
in.
like that, and then some of them like require you to like be moving around. They're not like a Ouija board type game, you know? So this first one actually originated from Japan and is known as the hide and seek alone, or Hitori Kakurenbo. And this game, you're inviting a spirit or a demon to possess a doll, so it can play hide and seek with you. Have any of you guys heard of this?
No.
Nope.
I think I have, but I'm not familiar really.
Yeah. So once again, it's not recommended to play. So here are the tools you need and the rules so that you can play. So the first thing you would need is a stuffed doll with limbs, preferably a stuffed animal like a teddy bear, because it's not recommended to choose a human-like doll. Because if you do, then the spirit that you're inviting in may be harder to get rid of and might want to like really stay within the doll. You're gonna need rice to use as stuffing instead of the cotton. and something from your body, so like a fingernail or maybe a strand of hair. And don't use any other person's body part, because the doll may replace itself. Like the spirit that's possessing the doll may replace that other person that you're using their body part with. It may like lock that person in within the doll. Or the game just won't work properly. And you also need a sharp object, something like a toothpick, needle, or pencil. It is not recommended to use knives or scissors. You'll see later why. Some of variations do say to use either a knife or scissors. I don't know why. You'll need a red thread for the doll, salt water or salt, which is used later in the game, and a bathtub or a basin with water that's large enough to keep the doll inside the water. And lastly, you'll need like a sanctuary or like your hiding spot. And you need like a good hiding spot. And you'd want to play like in a house or location that's big enough for you to move around in. It's just so you're not found quickly. So the game, you have to give the doll a name. It's recommended to not give your name or the name of anyone that you know. You have to cut the doll open and take all of its stuffing out and fill it with the rice. So like this is, as you can tell, like this is kind of like ritualistic in a way. Like it's just like some game, but then you're kind of creating like a little voodoo doll. And then once you put the rice in there, you'll also put your fingernail or whatever part of your body you choose to do. And then you'll sew it up with that red thread. And then you'll wrap the remaining thread around the doll. And this is kind of seen as a type of binding to keep the spirit within the doll. And you'll fill the water basin or the bathtub. And then you'll turn off all of the lights. And you'll want to leave at least one TV on. And you'll have to wait until 3 a.m. Once it's 3 a.m., you'll take the doll along with you to the bathroom or the basin and repeat with like your eyes closed. The first seeker is your name. And then you'll place the doll in the water and go to another room without looking back. And then you'll count slowly from 1 to 10, turn around and walk back to the bathroom. And then that's basically like your turn. And then you went out searching for the doll and you found it. And so you'll use the sharp object and you'll say, I found you 3 times and like the doll's name. And then you'll stab it with your sharp object. Afterwards, you'll close your eyes and you'll repeat, now the doll's name, it's your turn. And so you'll leave the sharp object with the doll and then you'll walk away. It's recommended to not look back because you may see something that you don't want to see. And then you're supposed to drink the salt water or that you had with you, just a little bit of it to keep it in your mouth. And then you'll take it with you and you'll go to your hiding spot. Once you're there, you'll just remain silent and wait. Sometimes you may wait like 30 minutes, but it's set to like not wait any longer or like not continue playing any longer than 2 hours. Because this may be like, it may completely bind the spirit to the doll and it may not leave at all. Or it may not leave from wherever you're playing, so like your house. The reason that you turn the TV on, some people say that it's kind of an indication if the doll is nearby. So if it turns to static or just starts acting up, then that's an indication that like the doll is getting closer to you, or just moving around in the area where the TV is. If the doll does find you, it will stab you. So this is why it's recommended to use a smaller object, not scissors or a knife.
Wow.
And it will attempt to possess you. To end the ritual, hopefully the doll hasn't found you. This is where you wait up to like the 30 minutes if you try and like get out sooner than that, then you might like run into the doll or something. So you'll search the house for the doll. It may not be in the bathroom or where you left it. And a lot of people that play have said that like, I found the doll in this location or somewhere else, and like they were in the house alone, because again, like you're supposed to play this game by yourself. And so you'll still have the water in your mouth. You're not supposed to drink it or anything. That's just like a sort of protection. And some people say like once you find the doll, you're either supposed to spit that on the doll or swallow it and then pour the rest of that salt water around and on the doll.
Huh.
And once you do find it, you shout, "I win," 3 times. Again, a lot of these are like, you're supposed to say these things 3 times. And then you're supposed to dispose of the doll. If you want to keep it, that's up to you. But
where do you dispose it, Maria? We've been talking about this. Where's the good place?
So the only thing it says is just to bury it with salt away from wherever you played with it, so that it's not still like within the land of where you're playing. The salt is just like a binding thing. I don't know if it's like completely getting rid of the spirit. That's why you have to get rid of it, because the spirit's probably still within the doll, and then the salt will just prevent it from going anywhere else. But you just have to bury it. So yeah. So that's the hide and seek alone game. There's some variations and stuff, but that's essentially it. And yeah, like everywhere that I've seen, like a lot of people also write in like the no sleep, which is like fake,
that's the best,
scary stories.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, a lot of people go like crazy with their imagination of like what can happen. But then there's like other locations where people say like, no, I legit played this and like this happened and like the doll was like in this other location. So who knows?
Colin, it sounds like you've read No Sleep. Do you like it? How do you like it? What's your experience been like?
Pardon me. I don't go very often, but I do check it from time to time. I'm subscribed to it, so I get a little bit of it. But it's kind of fun. It's I like some of the content gets under my skin a little bit, and I do enjoy that.
Nice. How about you, Tim?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this? You've not heard of it?
Nope.
Oh.
They're really
You have
just
to try it now.
Yeah, it's so reddit.com/r/no sleep, all one word. And it's just anything that someone would like to post that has kept them up at night. So majority of them are like either stories they've heard or personal things that have happened or coincidental stuff. But then you find that like, depending on what actually happened, people end up posting other places too, or cross posting. So you got somebody will have something happen to them. They'll get freaked out. So they'll post it there, but then they'll also post the same thing in like Glitch in the Matrix, which is like coincidental stuff that happened that kind of kept them up at night one night just because it was so weird or whatever. So really, really a cool place to visit if you've never been there.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
There's a lot of like longer stories too, which are like pretty cool. It's like you're reading like a short little novel. So, would any of you play this one?
Yeah, why not?
I'd give it a whirl.
I'd give it a shot. Yeah.
Let's do it
That'd be
during the team outing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Tim can use the little Annabelle doll that he had.
Yeah,
We're
so I was gonna say I use a Raggedy Ann doll, fill it with some rice, and I'll even name her Annabelle. We'll see what happens.
We
That'd be
Tim and
great.
I were talking about when he visits Chicago. I don't see why we can't just include Colin. We'll just go in the woods and we'll play a bunch of stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, let's do it. Go to Bussy Woods. They keep finding dead bodies there.
Bussy Woods would be perfect. That big open field that's along 355. Oh, magnifique for this kind of thing. Sorry, Maria. Back to the strangling.
No worries. So this next one, this one would also be within a house. Again, recommended like a bigger house, preferably not your own with this one. And this one's called the Midnight Game. So this one is thought to be an old pagan ritual that was used as a punishment for those who disobeyed the gods, or so says the creepypasta. This game can be played alone or with an additional player, or I think maybe like 2 other players. I don't know how many you could, because it can be limited with the like surface area that you'll have to cover, because this one you'll move around.
Okay.
So if you're playing alone, basically like if you're playing with other people, then you'll just like double what you have to do, or each person individually has to do this thing by themselves. So what you'll need is a candle, a lighter or matches, a piece of paper, something to write with, a pen, sterilized if you care about your health, a closed wooden door, and salt.
Wooden door, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Maria. All my
No
doors
metal
are
door.
solid metal.
So you can't play.
Damn.
Or find a place that has a wooden door. So the game begins before midnight with an invitation. And you'll have to write your full name on a piece of paper with your pen or pencil. And with that pin or, again, a sharp object, you'll prick your finger and you'll draw blood. And then on that piece of paper, you'll dab your blood on it and let it soak next to your name. Again, that's like very ritualistic.
Yeah.
And so you'll let it soak in, let it dry, so it doesn't like smear or anything. I don't know if it really matters, but like that's part of the rules that they said. And then you'll turn off all of the lights in your home, and then you'll place the paper in front of the door with the candle, like either on top or like in front of the paper. And you'll light it with the matches, and then you'll knock on the door 22 times. And the last knock has to end right as the clock strikes 12.
Oh, wow.
So at midnight. Yeah. So you have to like time it very precisely.
Mhm.
And yeah, it doesn't say like what happens if you don't, but I'm either assuming that like the game doesn't work out, you're doing it incorrectly, or the entity like thinks like you broke the rule or something, and you know it'll be more dangerous. But it doesn't really say like what happens if you don't. And once you knock the 22nd knock, you'll have to blow out the candle and close the door. No, you open the door, blow out the candle, and then you close it again. So like this is kind of like inviting them in. And then as soon as you close the door, you have to relight your candle immediately. And you have to keep your candle in hand with you and the salt and the matches close by. And then you're going to start walking around your house or building that you're playing in. And should your candle go out, you first have to relight it within like the next 10 seconds. If you are successful, you can continue moving around the house. If you're not successful, then you'll have to stop moving until 3:33 a.m.
Wow. That's a long time to stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you are unsuccessful in relighting the candle, you have to immediately surround yourself with the salt. So like you're making a circle of salt. And that's where you're going to stay until 3:33 a.m. At 3:33 a.m., the game is over and it is safe to stop moving around, or you can step outside of the circle. And you may also turn on the lights. If you are playing with more than one player, again, each person must perform the invitation, oh my gosh, individually. And it welcomes an entity known as the Midnight Man. And the goal is to avoid the entity by continuously moving around the house. And this makes it more difficult for it to catch up to you. If you stop moving, even for like a couple seconds, it'll catch you. Some say he will either like induce hallucinations of your worst fears if he catches you, and others say that he will remove your organs one by one. So one's better than the other, I think.
Put down in the comments which one you'd rather have done to you.
Watch everyone say the organs one. Okay.
Hey, you never know with these people, these animals on this show.
Yeah. So again, yeah, if you're like playing with multiple players, like you have to be continuously moving. So like all the lights are off. You're just walking around with a candle. Like if you bump into someone, like your senses are gonna be high and you're gonna probably like start freaking out. You'll probably like catch someone on fire. Who knows? But so be careful if you're playing this for multiple reasons. And so some indications that the Midnight Man is close by is that the temperature drops suddenly. You can hear sounds of whispering with no discernible source, and it might be like right up in your ear. And then the appearance of the Midnight Man, which is just like a dark humanoid figure, or your candle going out. So your candle may go out multiple times throughout this. So you just have, that's why you're like keeping your lighter or matches with you at all times, just in case it does go out. It said that the like candle going out, that's the most common. If you experience any of the other ones, then, you know, good luck. Because it just means that like he's way like super close to you, and like you never know like if the location you're turning into is towards the Midnight Man. And at the end of the game, when you're like turning on all of the lights at like 3:34, do not assume that the entity has fully left your house. It may still be within the house or the location that you're playing at. And again, like, who knows, like, if it's actually going to follow the rules of, oh, the game's over, I'm not going to do anything to you anymore, you know? With this one, again, it's more of a creepypasta, but they do say that it has, like, roots within, like, pagan culture. So if anyone knows a little bit more about it, let us know. I didn't really see much information about it because a lot of these can get so obscure with, like, so many different retellings and supposed experiences and stuff, so it can be hard to see like what's truth, what's fake, but it's still pretty interesting. I definitely wouldn't do this one though, because like it involves your own blood, and that does seem kind of like very binding with
what's the worst that could happen?
Entities. All your organs are removed.
Or you visualize your worst fear.
Yeah.
What if those are what if those are the two of the same things? What if like your worst fear is your organs being removed?
Oh, double whammy.
Double whammy. You're like, oh my god, my worst fear, but at least it's over. Oh my god, where's my liver?
As long as they take the heart first, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is there an order you take them out in?
I don't know.
It just says one by one, but I feel like it might.
Well, you got to take out what's in the front.
Vital organs. Like, just leave them for last.
You take out the ones in the front first, right? What's in front? I don't know. That was in sarcasm.
Your digestive tract, mostly.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but I think to get to some of those organs, you got to crack open the rib cage. Mm-hmm. Right? Like to get to your lungs and all that.
And heart, pancreas, kind of, yeah.
What's that useless organ? The gallbladder? Is it the gallbladder? Where they can
appendix.
Appendix. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Appendix.
They can have it. They can have my appendix.
One of your kidneys.
So you have to walk. So you have to walk from midnight to 3:33 a.m.
Yeah. So
if your
you gotta be very determined of you.
Maria, can you imagine you're walking? Okay. It's like maybe 2 minutes after midnight. Your candle goes out. You can't light it. You got to stand there for almost 4 hours. What if you have to use a bathroom? What do? You can't go.
Sucks for you. That's what you signed up for.
Just go while you walk, Frank.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! You got to stand.
Wear a diaper.
A diaper.
Yeah. Wear an adult diaper.
I mean, I might want to do that for fun anyway, but I didn't think I'd have to use it.
Or go before you start the game.
That's probably what people would do. I wonder if it's true. They say if when you die, like you evacuate your bowels. Is there any truth to that? Do you guys know?
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know. What if you just went before that happens? Is it just you have more in there that you don't know about?
Maybe anything that's left over, really, because like the muscles will just relax. Because all of your like digestive tract really is just smooth muscle. So
Maybe it's just air at that point. So you just had this long fart.
that happens.
I think what I'll do, I think my strategy when I die, I'm going to try to relax as much as possible. So that way everything can just get out while I'm still alive. Because I don't want to be embarrassed after I die. Real talk though. Kat, who started the other podcast that is now Late Night Legends. She was not on Late Night Legends. She's actually a funeral director. There's a great little funeral parlor that is right by Colin's called Glickert on Arlington Heights Road. Yep. She was a funeral director there. And she would tell me stories about her being a funeral director. Like she would be the person that would call and like take the body out of your house. And she was like a little girl. She was like 5'2" or 5'1", little small frame. And then I remember she was telling me she would get frustrated because if you have a relative that died in Arlington Heights, Illinois area, and like you called her funeral home to come and move the body, she would just show up. And she'd be trying to haul somebody like from the upstairs. She'd have a really hard time sometimes. And like sometimes that family would offer her help. She's like, nope, this is my job. But she was telling me that like it could get really awkward and kind of scary because somebody would be, you know, they would pass away. She'd show up to recover the body. And you are like, you release gas out of your lungs too. And sometimes you let out a groan and like, she'd like be taking somebody down the stairs and they think somebody's dead. And then like the body's like, oh, and then the family's like, oh my God, Uncle Jerry, you're still alive. But no, Uncle Jerry's dead.
Yeah.
So let me know, by the way, guys, if you hear any static on my side. I'm getting some static for some reason. I don't know if I upset the spirits.
I've heard a little bit. But
earlier or right now?
Not right now. Earlier.
Okay, cool. Let me know.
I heard a little bit right now, but it's not really apparent.
That could be you though, Maria. You got something going on with your spirits over there too.
Mine's lights. It has nothing to do with it.
Comment down below the difference between spirits that would interfere with your lights and spirits that would interfere with your sound. Please give us your reasoning on why that might happen.
Yeah. And like, do the viewers even know? Because like, I don't think it's happened while we're live.
Yeah.
With like my lights and stuff going on.
I don't think I've ever seen it in post.
Yeah.
I think it only happens afterwards.
That's really weird.
Spooky.
That's really weird. I could try to emulate the effect. I could try to recreate it. I can do some pretty good stuff with this movie editing stuff. You see that Taco Bell logo I put in Colin's video? It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, like, it kind of looks, I forgot what they're called, but like, you know, like those, like in the 90s and early 2000s, like those little orbs that had like a bunch of like little electricity stuff and like you put your hand on it and it just like gets attracted.
Yeah.
That's what the lights kind of look like when I see them.
What are those called? Tim, do you know what those are called? There's like static electricity toy.
I have no idea what they're called. I've seen them before.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys when you see it, but that's what it looks like to me.
I feel like I should get one of those for my setup. But there is so many cool things like that. In like the 90s, they had those. They had like the lava lamps. Remember those? Those
I've got a lava lamp right over there.
Do you? You should put it in your setup. Then they had like
I should.
The two balls that like go back and forth, and there's two balls in the middle that they hit in the middle.
Oh yeah.
I went to the store recently and they had a moon that was just a spinning moon and it was levitating a little bit somehow. I don't see a lot of that stuff around anymore. I think we all did everybody grow up, even though like those toys were mostly on adult desks? I don't know. We should just do a show on toys.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a toy, but I remember like having one of those mosquito zappers out on the back porch, right?
My
blue light on it, the mosquitoes came by and just go bzzz.
You talk about the we got Chris in the comments saying it's plasma globes. Yeah, plasma globes.
Yeah.
My parents actually, I don't know why, they don't invest a lot of money in a lot of things, but they went out to like the local Menards out here, which is like a hardware store if you're not from the Midwest, and they bought like a $500 or $600 bug zapper for the summertime. Not even needed. They wouldn't even be outside. They would just love hearing the bugs get fried out there. My mom would just be like making popcorn and she'd be like shaking the Jiffy Pop thing, and we would just hear like the electricity outside. She's like, I don't know if it's my popcorn or the mosquitoes outside.
Oh my god.
But my brother and I would try to mess with it, like poke it with sticks. We would like try to take a bug that we found on the ground and we throw it up there. It'd be pretty fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way though. The bugs have to fly into it. If there's no intent from the bug, it doesn't work somehow. But yeah. Thanks, Chris, for letting us know plasma gloves. Do you have any more, Maria?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were maybe done.
No.
Back to the strangling.
That was the last episode.
Yeah.
Back to the games.
Organ
throwback.
removal.
Back to the organ removal.
So, this next one, you can play this in any building that has at least 10 stories and an elevator. So not really one for the house, maybe like a hotel or something. And this one is the elevator game. And this one's gotten like actually pretty popular. I don't know if there's been like a short series made on it or something, but this one originates from an urban legend from Korea. Some people say from Japan. But essentially, this is just like the elevator game, and the rules, you must play alone. The building you choose, again, must be at least 10 stories high. It can be more stories if necessary, or if you just can't find a building with just 10 stories. And the elevator cannot switch in order to go to like other levels. It has to be the same elevator that can go consecutively through all of the floors. And to begin, it's suggested to play at night because you don't want to be running into people while playing this game. It may interfere, or it may be difficult to know who really is human, who isn't. So if you choose to play, suggested to play at night when there's less traffic of people. So you start by pressing the up button. You don't want it to start by pressing the down button because it may take you somewhere else. So you make sure that there's no one else in the elevator with you. You have to be in it starting alone. And you'll press the fourth floor. And Duke it not. Oh my god, I cannot speak.
Duke it out.
Don't get off in the fourth floor. And like this is kind of a trend with like all of the floors, to just like keep pressing them and not getting off until a certain point. After the fourth floor, you'll press the second floor, and then you'll press the sixth floor button, and then once again you'll go back to the second floor. And again, you don't get off, and then you'll press the 10th floor button and don't get off on this floor just yet. And then you'll press the 5th floor button. Once you press the 5th floor, once the doors open, there might be a woman that comes in the elevator with you. Her face may be covered with her hair, but it's recommended to not stare at her at all whatsoever, and just don't even acknowledge her. The woman may attempt to like start up a conversation with you or something, but again, it's just pretend that she's not even there. The game is still occurring if no one steps in the elevator, so continue with the steps if the woman does not enter the elevator. If, again, she does get in the elevator, don't look at her, don't speak to her, and she's believed to be like not human. I don't know if she's said to be a spirit or entity or just something else altogether, but she's just not human. You have to stay in the elevator and press the first floor button. Here, you'll either go down to the first floor and the game has failed, or you'll start ascending and go to the 10th floor. You can stop the game here if you're feeling anxious and like wanting to stop what you're doing by pressing any other button aside from the 1st or 10th floor button before you're like getting to the 9th floor. So you can press like 2 before you see the number 9, and then that'll stop the game. If you do it too late, then you'll just have to ride it on through till the end. So once the doors open to the 10th floor, this will technically like no longer be the building you're in. It'll be known as like the other world. And you can either stay in the elevator or step out and explore, but it's recommended to just keep like looking back at the elevator, or just like be aware of your surroundings and where the elevator is during your time on that floor. The floor is said to be just pitch dark, like pitch black, with a slight red glow coming from like a window or just no source. Some say that like the red glow is coming from like across outside of the building, but if you look outside, there's like nothing else except for like a red cross, and that's like what's creating the red glow. But sometimes like it's just coming from nowhere. During your time in this floor, like explore at your own will, but it's pitch black. No one has really said anything about like what is in there. It's just another world, but you may start getting disoriented, and kind of just like, yeah, like forgetting like why you're there and everything. And so immediately, like if you start feeling that way, it's suggested to just get back to the elevator. If there are 2 elevators in the floor, just make sure you get on in the right one, because if you get on in the other one, you may not be able to return to the regular world. And some people say that like once you're trying to get back to the elevator, it'll be much farther away than you first thought it was. And kind of like in dreams when you're like walking down a hallway and it just keeps on stretching and stretching, that's kind of how it would be trying to get back to the elevator. So another thing is, if you are getting off, the women may ask you like, where are you going? And again, just don't respond, don't acknowledge her. And certain variations say if the women did get in the elevator with you, then you have to explore. You don't have the option of just staying inside of it. And if she didn't get in the elevator with you, then you have the option to either just stay there or go out and explore if you want. But you may run into her in the 10th floor. Different variations of like how people tell it. And once you're on in the elevator, you'll basically repeat the steps that you did to get to the 10th floor or the other world. So basically, let me see where I'm at. So yeah, just to say again, it'll be the 2nd floor, 6th floor, 2nd again, then the 10th, and then the 5th, and then finally the 1st floor. Once you reach the 1st floor, you have to make sure that you look at your surroundings. A lot of people are said to like, they just run out because they're spooked or just freaked out, or they just want to get out of there, so they run out. But then they realize that they haven't actually returned. They're still in the other world. And this is just like a way of like either the woman or like the game itself or whatever is just trying to trick you. So they just say like it's important for you to just look around before you actually get off on the 1st floor and make sure that you're in the same place where you started. And yeah, if not, then you may find yourself back in the other world and may not be able to return. So that's the elevator game. And this one I have heard that like people do go out and play just to see what happens.
I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know if I'd play this one. This one,
I don't know.
Part of the disclaimer is you'd get trapped in the upside down part.
I don't know. I live in a more than 10-story building, so I'm going to try it tonight.
Mine is 7.
You got saved.
So, yeah, you can come by mine and play it, Frank.
All right. What are you doing in 15 minutes?
I got a meeting.
Ah, shit. All right. Next time.
Yep.
Oh, Tim, you're on mute.
I was going to say, I thought this when you said you had to play alone, so you guys can't play together.
No. Well, you take turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you got side-by-side elevators? We could do that. Try to synchronize our... Okay.
I do.
Cool.
So, yeah, we could give it a shot. race. Whoever gets there first wins.
You know, this reminds me a little bit when you say the entity gets in the elevator that looks like a woman, and you're like, oh, well, don't speak to her. I'm like thinking, well, that's very relieving, because what do you say to like a ghost that may not even be a human anyway? So I'm like, what do you say if you were to meet a woman? Like, how do you initiate contact? So then I started thinking about that scene in Ghostbusters 1 where they're in the library and they try to confront the librarian ghost, and Venkman goes up to her and he's like, so, where are you from originally? Like, he's trying to holler at her. But yeah, I don't know if I would know what I would even say if I wanted to. What would you guys even say? Like, let's say the rules say, let's just say either it's not this game or within this game, the rules said that you could speak to this ghost. What would you say to a ghost if you knew you were talking to a ghost? How do you open up that dialogue?
You from around here?
Are you
Come
from
here often?
around here? Colin, what do you think you'd...
What year is it?
What year is it?
No.
What are you thinking, Colin? What would you say?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a ghost pun right now. Coming up blank though. But yeah, I'm a small talker in the elevator, so it'd probably just small talk.
I don't know. I keep thinking of Ghostbusters. I'm thinking about when they went after Slimer and the guy. There's like that guy in the trench. He's like, "What are you supposed to be? Some type of a cosmonaut?" He's like, got like a cigar. He's like, "No, we're exterminators." Somebody saw a remote jump on 12. Oh, man, I gotta watch Ghostbusters. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be circumstantial too, because if you're not, oh wait, hold on. We got Chris in the chat. How can I put you to rest? Is that in a spiritual way, Chris, or are you trying to also holler? It's okay if you're trying to holler. Let us know. All right. We can continue, Maria. Back to the organs.
Yeah, so it doesn't say like I mean, probably that she might attack you or something if you do acknowledge her presence. Because I think essentially you're just trying to make it seem that like you don't even know that she's there. So like in her mind, she's like, oh, they don't know that I'm here.
Oh, but if you talk to her, it's like inviting her
then,
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it kind of reminded me, because this originally comes from like Korea or Japan, and like there's another similar type story of like speaking to a woman. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's the Kuchisake Onna, which is like this lady that I don't know the full story, but like half of her face is like missing or something, and so she walks around with a mask, and then if you run into her, she'll ask you if she's pretty. And like if you say no, then she'll like kill you. If you say yes, she'll kill you. And then like you're basically supposed to respond to her as like with another question or like a way to confuse her. And that way, like, it'll give you enough time to just run away. So I don't know if it's like something similar in the like, whatever way you respond, you're not going to make it. But I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of like, oh, maybe it's like a similar case with that.
Hold on, I'm texting somebody if they know this ghost. I'll let you know what reply I get. I might get yelled at too.
And then like another thing with the elevator game one, I didn't see like exactly what year it like really started or like popped up in like just pop culture and stuff. But I don't know if you guys have heard of like the Lisa Lamb story.
Yes. Yeah, that's a creepy
it's
story.
solved by now.
It's one of the first things we covered on the show. I was watching I'm so sorry to cut you off. I was watching a documentary about that when I decided to do this to start Late Night Legends.
Oh, wow.
And when I had the first intro opening, Lisa Lamb is somebody that was very predominantly featured in our sort of little intro video.
But yeah, I think like her story, like what happened is solved already. But before, when it was all happening, a lot of people were questioning if she had played the elevator game, because like a lot of like her last moments were seen on that elevator,
yeah.
and she was acting very strange. So like a lot of people on the internet were like, did she play the game? Like, or are we seeing her like experience playing the game or something?
Yeah, she was having like a manic episode, they said. It's like the scientific explanation, and a lot of people don't buy into that. But if you're someone who kind of works with folks or knows folks where that happens, that's exactly what it looks like. And it's still strange how she got up in that water tank. But I would say that the elevator footage itself is really creepy because the timestamps don't make any sense. Those skip around. And even if they did make sense, there's portions of the timestamp missing from the CCTV of her being in the elevator. So it's like timestamps skip around. Some of their, and then there's the time jumps, and then in other clips, it's like the timestamp is completely gone. And this mishmash of what may have happened there. So maybe it'd be a good time to revisit that whole thing and show some footage and talk about it. I'm not saying I like what happened to her, but I love the story of what could have happened. Like, I feel like that one is just so open-ended to what people thought it could be. And the footage is definitely scary. Like, there is no doubt about it when you watch that. Like, if you don't know what's going on, like if you're not aware, like this is how someone that might have had a manic episode is acting, you might actually get a little bit creeped out, which is the fun part for me. Like,
not even if supernatural, like it'll like, some people were also like, was she being chased by someone and like she's trying to hide from them and stuff?
It looked like it, yeah. Because a lot of what she was reacting to was when the door was open, she was like looking around the corner, and then she was doing this thing with her hands where she was like, I watched a documentary about that, and then I watched a separate documentary right after about strange transmissions that have come from space. For like, we've had transmissions come from space of people asking for help, sometimes in Russian. So like sometimes there were some theories that like Russia sent up a bunch of cosmonauts and didn't tell anyone, and then those people all would die, and they would send us transmissions asking for help and saying Mayday and all that, that's cool to think about. It's unfortunate if it's true, but then it's also really cool to think about, like, because of the way space works, it could be messages from the future or the past too coming through now, which is kind of cool to think about. Maybe we'll do a show on that some dates too. We'll have to see.
Yeah, be cool.
That'd be really cool.
So out of all of these, if you had to like play one, which one would you play?
Oh, 100%. I'm doing that elevator game tonight.
100%.
Yep.
I'll probably do the doll one.
I think I'd do the doll one too. Maria, what are you playing?
Yeah, probably the elevator or the doll.
I just don't like the idea that in the elevator one, you can get stuck in that limbo where you have to explore. That is the part I don't like. I think with the doll, the risk is, okay, well, you may get possessed. But to me, I guess that's the lesser of two evils, pardon the pun. That's the lesser of two evils versus being stuck in limbo. Because then you're just disappeared, right? At least if you get possessed, somebody can potentially maybe exorcise you or, you know, whatever that entails.
And the worst one is the door knock candle one, because then you got to walk for 3.5 hours.
God. I can barely walk for like 20 minutes. No, that's not true. I walk a lot.
There's some others that like, because a lot of these are just, to play to see if you experience something. But some of them, they're a little bit shorter. But some of them are like you get a prize or a wish granted at the end if like you play through and succeed.
There's so many. And I was excited to hear like what you were going to bring up. And I'm happy that you kind of talked about some of the more complicated ones, because some of them are definitely ritualistic and kids definitely should be playing. Do you ever hear about like Blood Brothers, where you cut your hand to make a pact with someone? And then the blood gets shared, and like that's your bond. And if you break your bond, then I don't know what's going to happen to that guy, but something bad is supposed to happen. So there's stuff like that. Yeah, it's really crazy. But Bloody Mary is definitely one that I've played already. Nothing happened.
Same.
I was not scared.
Same.
I kind of wish something would happen.
Yeah, that'd be a lot more fun.
There's one that's like, this one was really long, so like I wasn't sure if I should include it or not, because like it was way too long. But it's one like you're driving, and it's called the 11 Mile game. And yeah, you're like essentially like just driving throughout the entire game, and you have to like make certain turns and stuff. And then at a certain point, you'll know when you started the game because things will start happening either in the highway or within your car.
Shit.
Just, yeah.
It's hard to keep it at exactly 11 miles. My cruise control, you can't even set it until you're at, I think, 25 miles an hour. Like, it won't turn on.
Oh, no, like you'll be driving for 11 miles.
Oh,
That's what
distance,
it is.
not 11 miles per hour. Oh, okay.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
10.
and like with that one, you do have like a wish granted at the end.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I want to do that one then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have to be driving or can my car drive? I'll just set the GPS for 11 miles, hit go.
He's got a Cybertruck. I don't know if you guys knew this. We mentioned it in one episode.
Model S. I got a Model S.
It doesn't really say. So, I mean, I think like as long as your car is moving, then you might be fine.
Got a Model S, Tim? I didn't know that. I couldn't see you driving a Model S. I'm a very corpulent fellow. I've driven a Model S before. I don't really, let's just say, well, at that time it was a lot bigger when I drove one. But when I drove one, I didn't find that it was very comfortable for me. So I was like, I won't buy one of these.
I used to have a 3, so it's way more comfortable than a 3. I've driven the Cybertruck too, but I don't know if I would buy one just because the windshield is so big. It's hard to keep clean. Every time I've driven one, they're so dirty. You have to use like a mop to try to clean the window.
What about that wiper thing where you press the button, the little sprayer? It's like bzzz, and then just.
From the
wipers.
inside. Yeah, the outside's fine. The inside, the dash is so long because of the angle of the window.
Well, you got to get a
just can't
Swiffer
keep it
for
clean from the inside.
Yeah.
You can get a Swiffer,
You do,
man.
for real. But they drive like a dream because they got that steer-by-wire.
Steer-by-wire. I've never heard
Yeah,
of
it's not mechanically linked to the steering wheel. It's all electronic.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, you can like barely turn the wheel and you can do like a U-turn, like super tight because the back wheels turn too.
That's paranormal in itself. I you know what's really funny is I'm always messing with my wife because she's like, I hate the Cybertruck. It looks like a garbage truck, and like we'll be driving down there and she's like, oh look, there's a dumpster. I'd be like, man, it's really growing on me. She's like, don't you dare buy one. Don't you dare. But I was thinking about from the perspective of when I get a house and I'm gonna get a solar roof. If you have a Cybertruck or another Tesla, it can act as an additional battery and additional battery capacity for a home. And Cybertruck being the largest vehicle they sell would potentially be the largest backup battery. So if you have a house that's running off of Tesla solar and the power goes out, you might have a day or two. But if you have a Cybertruck that's fully charged, ready to go, you might have a couple of weeks if you need it. And when things get serious, you might need a couple of weeks of electric to hold you over until shit fixes itself or whatever. But we're going way off topic. I'm so sorry, Maria. Did you have any other ones that you want to quickly mention as honorable mentions for your topic?
I want to hear more where you get wishes.
Yeah.
I know like there's enough.
I was just gonna say Chris has a comment, let alone drive by wire. I think Chris is just
tell
saying
him about break by wire, let alone drive by wire.
Oh, I'm sorry, break by wire. My bad. I only read the most recent comment. Did you get? I mean, there's been paranormal stuff with Tesla, so.
Oh really?
Well, paranormal / maybe conspiracy. So this is going to be going into an uncharted territory that I don't know. You know what? Let me tell you guys about this one off air, only because I don't want to end up on a list somewhere for talking about it too openly. But I'll tell you about something that happened after we sign off here in a few minutes.
Let's see. There's like there was one that's like more of like kind of like for kids type of sleepover one that it's called Doors of Your Dreams or Doors of Your Mind or something. And it's basically like one person has to like lay down, close their eyes, and then the other person is kind of like the one guiding them. So you're basically imagining like some doors, they may be different colors, and then the person is asking you like which one you want to go in or something, and then depending on the one that you open, it may lead you to like something good or something bad. There's some of like the doors, I don't really remember which one, but like it may be like a dark room or something, and there may be an entity within one of them, and it may like pull you in. But the whole thing is just like trying to see like what your mind is hiding or something. I don't know. It's like trying to like unlock things in your mind as well. But there's dangers to it.
It kind of sounds like the other sleepover game, 7 Minutes in Heaven. Have you guys heard of that one? It's like you get locked in a closet with your crush for 7 minutes and anything goes. I'm serious. I've never played it.
That sounds better than a dark entity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just saying like that exists. That's the thing.
And there was like this other one that this one involves mirrors. So there will be like mirrors in front of you and then behind you, and then you're sitting in front of them or like kind of surrounded by it. And then there's again some entity that comes up, and then it can ask you questions, and then you ask it questions. And kind of goes back and forth, but there's like rules to it of like what you can ask and what you can respond with or something like that. And again, it might like grant you a wish or, give you something at the end.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot
that,
with
like,
mirrors too. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'm definitely more apt to try the ones where I might get a reward. The ones where I'm just going to lose my organs.
Yeah.
Where's my reward? That's not how this is supposed to work, Ghost. I always think about, do you guys ever watch that old Bruce Lee movie where he's fighting and he's in the room of mirrors? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So in there's a movie, a biographical movie called Dragon, and it's just like his life story. It's a really great movie if you check it out. But throughout that movie, he's haunted by a demonic entity that's trying to kill him. And the demonic entity, if you the movie doesn't really explain it, but basically, the Chinese martial arts community are very upset that Bruce Lee is teaching martial arts to Americans, and they try to curse him. And it's not just a curse on him, but it's a curse. It's like a generational curse where they curse you and they curse your kids. Like they'll do that. They'll do that like in Korea. Like if you're in North Korea and the government finds you to be an enemy of the state, they'll curse you and like kill all like your grandkids and your kids and stuff. I digress. In this movie, Bruce Lee got cursed because he was teaching and he refused to stop teaching Americans martial arts, and they felt like that he was giving away a national treasure is what they felt like he was giving away. Like no one else can know this secret arcane, the martial arts stuff. So in that movie, there's a demon that is hunting him, and it shows different throughout the movies. There's different dreams where he's trying to protect his son, Brandon Lee, who's the Crow. And so it's weird how that could parallel real life. But there's a scene in the movie where he's having a dream, and he's in that scene with the mirrors, and like the demon is manipulating those mirrors to try and kill him. To make a long story short, a lot of people feel like that demon was based on real things that he was seeing or experiencing. The demon won because Bruce Lee died accidentally, even though there's more to that story. And then they also say that the demon generational curse worked on his son because Brandon Lee also got shot and killed on the set of The Crow. So that's really cool to think about. Well, I mean, again, unfortunate, but it's cool to think that could have actually happened. Curses, man. Yeah. Crazy shit.
Curse them curses.
Curse them curses. All right, maybe you guys want to move into final thoughts? How you feeling? Maria, you good on some final thoughts? Okay. Yeah. Colin, Tim, one of y'all go first, and then Maria will go, and then I'll go.
Sure. I think, I like the one with the doll. That one sounded like a fun one to actually try. So, I'll probably try that. I won't use the Raggedy Ann doll because
shit started happening last time you did that.
Yeah.
Stuff started happening to you, Tim. There was things
going on.
It was a little
weird. So I'm definitely not going to use that one. But maybe something else. And I'll take the recommendation to not use a human-like doll. I'll just get like a cute little teddy bear or something that...
You know what, actually,
I don't
Tim?
think it'll stab me too hard.
I was at Spirit Halloween a couple of days ago. I think I was on Saturday. And it was weird because they were selling 2 Annabelle dolls. Okay. They weren't Raggedy Ann. It was like the movie doll, right? Which is completely different. Mm-hmm. And it was so strange because they had one Annabelle doll that looked very super movie accurate. And they had another one that looked different. But the boxes were exactly the same. And I was telling my wife, I'm like, what's the difference between these two dolls? And she's like, I don't even want to look at it, so I don't care. But I'm like, what is the difference? Why does one look so real and the rest of them are all this other model that looks a lot more fake? I don't know.
But there was only one that looked real?
There was only one that looked real. And it was the only one that like kind of, if like I wanted to buy it and like easily reach for it, it was that one. The rest of them were like on the floor and they were all the ones that looked fake.
Interesting.
I think you should have bought it.
Yeah, you should have.
Shit, man. It's hard to part with like $180, man.
Maybe it was like
Sure,
a
if that
limited
much,
edition
dang.
one or something.
I could just call Tim and have him send me his. He's got a limited edition one too that actually works. You know what else I saw, guys? And I was thinking of Colin when I saw this doll. I was at Target, right? My wife likes to look at the books at Target, and there's always that toy section right behind the books. And they actually are selling the evil Krusty doll from Treehouse of Horror.
That's awesome.
And he had a pull string and everything. And it says, I love you. And then it's like, I'm going to kill you. And then on the back, it said, if you buy this doll, you receive a free Frogurt on the back. And I was laughing so hard at Target. Oh, that one I came closer to buying because that's just awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Back when Treehouse of the Horror was such a fun thing. I haven't even seen it in the last 5 years. What's going on with that? You guys watch The Simpsons at all?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Not really.
I haven't
in a while.
I haven't watched a new episode in it's been damn near 20 years that I haven't seen an episode. How about you guys? So how long has it been?
I catch it when it's on TV sometimes, but I haven't sought it out really in at least a decade.
Probably
I've never
same,
really watched it. Yeah.
I think
Some episodes here and there, but I've never been a watcher of The Simpsons.
I would
just
watch
started watching
reruns.
South Park.
Yeah. I've never watched South Park regularly, but I think I mostly stopped watching The Simpsons around the time of the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I
done.
watched any after that.
Nothing after that for sure, because the Simpsons movie in itself was kind of dumb in some parts. So, Colin, final thoughts.
Well, like I said before, I'm definitely playing the elevator game tonight. Tonight, yeah. I got
Film it.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll give it a shot. The order was what 2, 6, 2, 10, 5.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I got this covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Report back in the Discord, and if you do no call no show next week, just assume you're dead.
Yeah, there you go.
Great. Maria, final thought.
Again, not recommended to play any of these, but if you want to play it, just rewatch this and listen to the instructions well enough, or look it up on Reddit. A lot of these are written up on Reddit, and like they come with the like instructions and then like an extra story of like the person telling like what they experienced and stuff. But yeah, they're really cool if anyone wants to hear more, because there's so many of these. Like the video could have gone for like hours because there's a lot, so I had to like really like kind of like eeny miny mo which one I was gonna say talk about.
My final thought is actually a lot like that. My final thought was going to be, if we missed any that you really want us to cover, that you really want to hear about, we could definitely do a part 2 and just cover the ones that you find to be especially fun. Or if there's one that you played as a kid or even as an adult, let us know in the comments, and we would love to hear your experience if you got one. Announcements. We really don't have any new announcements besides, if you weren't with us last week or you didn't watch our show that we published earlier today, Kay will not be on the schedule for the next few months because she's going to be having a little one, and we'll have a new late night legend for the team. Next week, Tim is going to take us into the new Conjuring. You want to give us a little one sentence or two sentence preview of that, Tim?
I think the movie actually comes out on the 5th, so if you want to watch the movie before, if you want to watch the movie after, either way, it's going to give you more insight into that film as well as more of the real life events that helped contribute to that. So I think it's one that people are going to like.
And then after that, we got Colin doing a topic, one that you might not have seen coming. It's a cryptid that you didn't know was fighting the giant squids underwater. What is it, Colin?
It's the underwater abominable snowman.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that snow could be underwater? Hell yeah. And then after that, we've got Charlie doing a much deeper dive into a cult that Kay covered last holiday season. There's a cult in Oregon. Not going to give too much detail away there, but he's going to cover that. And then the week after that, in late September, I'm going to be covering psychic connections and bonds. So if you've ever felt like you had a connection to somebody or more than one person, whether you knew who that was or not, that's the show for you. And I definitely want to invite anybody who's listening to this to join the chat, or if you're one of the legends here, be ready to tell me about your personal stories where you shared any type of connection, whether it's a good connection, a bad connection, a connection that you maybe only had when something was about to happen, all that type of stuff. Because there's a lot of science to talk about there, but there's also a lot of pseudoscience and then straight up just spiritual stuff. Very, very cool. Outside of that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling your friend. Thanks so much for not playing the elevator game, but putting your mom on the elevator and then pressing the buttons in the specific order that the game is played. We'll see y'all next week. And until then, we hope you have a great night and a great week. See ya. Bye everybody.
Bye.
I feel the light betray